of all political stripes are gravely concerned about the corruption of a Trump Justice Department that abandons the rule of law to give sweetheart deals to criminals who commit their crimes on behalf of Donald Trump. And yes, Roger Stone, I'm looking at you.
Elizabeth Warren zeroed in on the corruption of the Justice Department in her speech to supporters last night. She finished fourth in the New Hampshire primary, was unable to net any delegates. But despite that, Warren is still in third place in the overall delegate tally as we move on to Nevada. And she joins me live tonight. Senator, a bunch of your Republican colleagues on Capitol Hill today were asked about the reporting about Barr's involvement in Roger Stone. And a number said something of to the effect of, well, it's in the judge's hands anyway. I don't think this is that big a deal. Why is it such a big deal to you?
This is a huge deal because this is about the president and then his attorney general interfering with the operation of justice, making it about something personal. You know, this is about the rule of law in the United States. We have an independent Justice Department that goes through, it makes decisions about who's guilty, who's not, what recommendations, what they're going to prosecute, what they're going to make suggestions for on sentencing. And we don't do it based on, hey, this is somebody who knows somebody. For the president to interfere in this and for the attorney general to evidently carry out his wishes was so outside the way the justice system operates that 3 career justice officials resigned on the spot. Think about what that means. We are watching in front of us a president who now feels like he can do anything. And that means we are watching a descent into authoritarianism. That's where we're headed.
You have proposed a task force were you to be elected president at the Department of Justice to look retroactively at the possible criminal conduct among the Trump administration. Yep. Some people I saw today criticizing you for essentially doing the thing that you're criticizing, right? This would essentially be using the Justice Department to pursue political vendettas. What do you say to that?
No, that's exactly backwards. It's an independent task force, has nothing to do with the presidency. The president cannot interfere in any way. That checks to see, because look at what the alternative is, especially with Donald Trump right now. The alternative is that Donald Trump is effectively saying by his actions, hey, look, do whatever it is that Donald Trump tells you to do, including breaking the law. And Donald Trump will then bail out the person, make sure that there is no punishment or that the punishment is light. We have to reestablish rule of law. Part of that will be independent investigation. So everyone understands when you switch from Republican to Democrat or Democrat to Republican, everyone is supposed to have been following the law. But the second is we can't let this moment go unremarked. What the Attorney General has done, we should all be calling for the resignation of the Attorney General. If he won't resign, remember, the Attorney General can be impeached. And also, we should be using the other tools of Congress, and that is we can put budget constraints so that Donald Trump is not able to have any funding to be able to interfere into actions that affect Trump, the Trump family, Trump buddies, Trump campaign workers. We can't just sit on our hands. This president will be in control through the November elections, and he has indicated that he feels no constraint. We got to get out there and fight back. And if we don't have as many tools as we wanted, then we just got to pick up what we've got and use them. We cannot just sit on our hands.
I want to ask you about last night. I want to ask you a theoretical question, which you may or may not engage in, but I'm going to give it a try. Here's my question. So we know that among Democratic voters, there's a high import put on the ability to beat Donald Trump. In fact, that's the number one thing people talk about. And we know that various candidacies have made their cases to voters about why they have the ability to beat Donald Trump and would be the best suited to go against him. Do you think that is a knowable thing? Like, in your head, do you think there's an actual one among you who is the dragon slayer and only that one can defeat Donald Trump? Or do you think that multiple people in the field are capable of beating?
So it may be that there are multiple people But it still doesn't mean that you don't want to look to see who's got the best chance to do it. And that's the argument I was making. I think I've got the best chance because what it takes is a united party. We can't have a repeat of 2016 when we roll into the general election with Democrats still mad at Democrats, Democrats still angry, some Democrats staying home. We need to have a party that is united. We also need to have a party that is fighting clearly for America's working families, for America's middle class. That's why something like my 2-cent wealth tax that actually lets us give universal child care to every baby in this country age 0 to 5 and universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old and cancel student loan debt for 43 million Americans and raise Social Security by $200 a month, all by just asking those at the very top to pay a little more. I've got clear plans for that, plans that let people see, gee, this is how it would affect my life. That's something all Democrats can run on, up and down the ticket. And it's something that pulls in Republican support and independent support. We need to be the party that's out there fighting for working people, not the party that's helping the rich get richer. And I think if we make that fight, we make that argument, we pull our party together, that's how I'm going to beat Donald Trump. That's our best chance.
All right, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, thank you so much for making time tonight. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.